Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the most polarizing piece of film equipment that you will ever show up with, the Slate. Oh, there's that thing. Do we have that makes that thing, that noise, that clapping? It's a Slate. All right, so let's talk about this thing. Kind of a general overview of what the Slate is and what it does. You have a film camera or digital camera that records your image. Most cameras have a microphone, but the microphone is terrible. So it would sound something like this. This is like the audio coming out of the camera that I'm using to film this right now. And then you have your audio recorder. And the audio recorder is much better, it's crisper, the frequencies are better, it just sounds better. The problem is, they're not together. Your job as a filmmaker is to marry the two, the audio and the video. This will help you with that job. Start recording on your camera, start recording on your audio recorder, and then you will mark it with the Slate. You will match that frequency spike on your audio, from your audio, with the picture from your camera. So it'll sound like this. And it'll look like this. All right, so let's go through this thing, okay? I always want to kind of feel like a professor. Roll. This kind of harkens back to the film days again, where they would change out the roll on the film camera. Again, we're using digital, so we're gonna use this place to mark our cards. So for example, we'll start with our first card. Let's say you choose A001. Make sure you mark your card A001, and every time you change your card out, you would change this as well. Scene. Every scene in your script, hopefully, is numbered. It should be. If not, we need to talk about that. So let's say we start from the beginning. No, let's say we start on scene 5. So we're gonna scene 5, it's our first camera setup. So this is gonna be scene 5A. Every time you move your camera or every time you change your lens, change the composition of the shot, this A, this letter, will change to B. So let's say I'm shooting scene 5 on a 35mm lens and I switch that to a 45mm lens. This will go from A to B. Take, that's used to identify each time you start and stop the camera. So we're just starting, it's gonna be take 1. All right, so right now we have scene 5A, take 1. Producer, self-explanatory, whoever the producer is, you would write that name in here. Director, again, self-explanatory, you would write that name in here. Now this bottom section down here is really helpful as well when it comes to staying organized, all right? So I wouldn't skip over it altogether. Frames per second, 24, 30p, 60p, 120p. You want to mark that down here to give your editor, or yourself if you are the editor, a good idea of what they're working with. Date is helpful as well. Make sure you fill in the date. Don't skip over this information. This is good stuff right here. Put this stuff in on your Slate. Interior, again, on your script, it should say whether it's an interior scene or an exterior scene. Day or night, again, that should be identified in your script. Sync, you're gonna circle that if you are, again, syncing audio with video. MOS is if you have no sound at all. So, let's say we're on set and we're ready to go. All right, someone will stand in front of the camera. Make sure that this is in the picture, not up here, not over here. I will have the person holding the Slate move to wherever the focus point is. And you will simply say, scene 5A, take 1. If you don't have a Slate, because we are talking about indie filmmakers, again, $34, but I understand. I have seen people just simply do this. I wouldn't do that. I'd probably get a Slate. So that's kind of a general overview of what a Slate is, how it's used, and why it's important. That's it for this one. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to the YouTube page. For now, be blessed, stay inspired, and always shoot for the difference. Cross Culture Studios, create new rules. Tell Slate!